Welcome back to the horsemanship. This is a horse that was somewhere else for a little bit, and a friend of mine, it belongs to her boyfriend, and so her exact words, he needs some archer time. Now, I'm watching a lot of things what I'm doing right now. I'm just sort of like watching this horse move out. And right now, with this horse conformation, he really shouldn't be holding his head that way. So that's telling me he's automatically going to be bracey. And he's not going to be the smoothest thing to ride either. There, he dropped a little bit. Right there he lowered a little bit. Now, so what happened was, the fellow owns the horse tried to get the horse to stop, and I guess the straw that broke the camel's back is when he bucked him off, because the horse don't have a stop, and I guess it doesn't have a turn. The previous person worked the horse, told him he needed to keep the horse in a martingale for a year. And I know martingales and everything, and I tell you, that's one trained tool. You better damn well know how to use it, because what happens is you will set a horse up to be bracey. And that's why I don't like them. Yes, I'll use my bungees, but everything I try to use most times got some kind of giving point at somewhere. Now I'm putting this bridle on just for a tidbit. When I put this bridle on, I'm going to go over his outside ear first, then his inside. And just not jabbing the bit in his mouth, and I'm not bunching that outside ear down. When you put this inside ear on first and then slide it like this, you're bending that ear all crazy, and horses get where they start resenting getting the bit on. And the reason I brought that up, had one lady adopted a horse, and the horse started all of a sudden not wanting to take the bit when it went home. Well, we won a few times. We traded her horse, and the horse she traded was a green horse, and so I'm training that one too. And sure enough, after she tried to put that bit in that horse's mouth a couple of times, the horse did not want the bit. And I told her, it's you, it's not the darn horse. And that's what she's doing. She'll put over this ear, and then she's just squeezing the hell like that. That horse didn't appreciate that. See? And so automatically put your hand up here, and like I showed that one video, put your, this will only take a second. I got my hand up here. I'm using this side of my headstall. I'm using this side of the headstall to control his head. I can move him around all over the place. If you really want to play with it, what you can do, bend him like that to me. And if you notice, Chris, zoom in on my hands. You did. Oh, okay. I got my fingers in between my O-rings. Not on the outside, because I can't do it right. So I just put my thumb on his tongue. He opens his mouth. I don't go jerk it in. And the same way, if you notice, when I took it off, I held it. I let him drop it. And let's say you got a green horse and they bite down that bit right before it comes out, don't panic, just stay steady. If they might back up and everything, but let them still drop it. Don't you try jerking it out. Like I said, this is my first ride with this horse. I'm trying to quit cigarettes, so usually I would be having one right now. So I'm going to drink a soda.
You're not trying to quit, you're quitting.
Huh?
You're not trying to quit, you're quitting.
Oh, I am quitting.
That can be edited.
Halfway to the evaluation on the date, when we went and picked him up, he was super stiff that day. He wouldn't go side to side. I had to get over him. But what impressed me about this boy, he learned pretty quick. He picked up on it too bad, where he just about got where I could point, didn't he? And he moved. And just earlier, I had someone up there warming him up in the round pen. She took American flag to him, and he hardly did anything. So right here, all I'm going to do is pick up this nose. That wasn't too bad. Actually, that's not bad at all. A little stiffer on here, so what I did to help that stiffness, and most people don't tell this part, I don't know why, I took my inside spur and just rolled it a little bit. Think of a fly. It's like that fly is biting him. So what is the horse going to do? They're going to flex around and bite at the fly. So to help him a little bit, I'm just going to roll that spur a little bit after it is a certain point. So that way it's not bad either. Right there he's showing some resistance. So I can tell where my resistance is going to come. Is right when I first do it. After he breaks that line, then he gets soft. But I'm not going to spend all day long just sitting here doing this. Got a story on that. Neighbor used to live here. He got to use the arena for like grading it up. And I watched him 2 years flex his horse while he's standing there. Finally I said, so and so, when are you going to move your horse's feet? He didn't appreciate that. Because somebody on one certain said that you can't do too much of it. Well, you can't do too much of it, but at some point you got to move their feet. And right there he's resisting my leg. All I'm going to do is ask him to move that hip. That's all I want to do right now. I want him to learn to flex. Because there's no brakes on him, supposedly. So I'm just going to move that hip. Yeah, that was better. And I'm using my legs for a cue too. Like right there, he wanted to stick his nose out. At the same time, I shut him down with my hand. I took my spur and rolled his neck. Rolled it on his belly. So that helped him flex that neck. You got plenty of aids on our body. So now I'm going to go over to my outside. This is more of a test ride too. See what the horse is made of. Yeah, he's clumsy with that front end. He's clumsy with that front end. Hasn't done that for a while. Especially going so if he goes to trot off on me, I'm not going to use two hands. I'm going to just disengage that hip. I'm going to take that power away from him. And now he's walking, so now I will ask for a trot. I was getting ready to ask for a trot earlier. And I want to sort of let him go on his own speed right now after I do trot him out, his own direction, And like right there, I'm waiting to see which way he wants to go, and I want to take him the opposite. That way I can help develop that mouth and get him to learn that he's got to follow that shoulder. And if you notice my hands, like I've said in other videos, my hand position's here. That way I can get in the way of that shoulder. It's not out here. If you notice the difference in that turn. Right now I'm not going to do a one rein stop. I'm just going to disengage that hip when I turn him down. Like I said, I want to teach him he's going to follow that shoulder. Now when I'm doing that at a lope, I don't do it, if you really watch me, I don't do it hard and fast. I sort of slow down until he slows down, then I'll pull him in. You know, my outside rein, I got to make sure it's loose. That's another problem I see so many people do. They'll do it, they'll pull here, but they're doing that. How effective is that? It's not effective at all. See, now he's resenting it. If I use just one hand and let go of the other side, it's more effective. Pardon? Ooh. Yeah. I bet you. Yep. Like right there. See, nobody developed that mouth. He's bracing. Now, I guarantee if I had him throw a martingale on him, he'd come right down because he'd feel that. But I want him to come down my hands. See, and that's where he is. That's what, if you notice, there's sticky points. Like on his, this way, he's sticky. And like this way, he's going to push on my hand first. And then he'll come down, and that's caused from the martingale. Because what he's doing, he's picking that nose, he's trying to, and that martingale will stop him. But see, the problem with using a martingale, they depend on it, people. They depend on that martingale. So if you start taking it off, unless they have been ridden for a couple years, but to me that's BS. So right now I got him in a frame. I'm gonna walk him out a little bit. I'm gonna hold my hand steady. Let him find that sweet spot. When he gets in the right position, I'm not going to do nothing. Right now there's no pressure on my hands. He's holding it. And I'm going to start developing on his stop. So while he's in frame like that, I'm going to sit back, pull just a tab. I just bent my wrist. Then I'm going to work my legs back and forth. I'm going to hold my hand steady. Yes, he's going to throw that head. And y'all can think poor horsey. Well, this horse could have hurt that guy serious. So he's got to be responsible for his own actions. And so if he throws that nose up there, that's his doing, that's his thinking. But if he comes to that right sweet spot like right there, then the pressure's off of him. You know, I see some, and you know, that's the type of society we're in now. We don't expect our kids to be responsible for their actions. We don't expect people, grown-ups, to be responsible for their own actions. And I've seen it through the years working horses. The horses changed with the mindset of people. Right there, he flipped that head. Every time he flips that head, I'm going to pull him back in. He's not going to come out of this circle until he holds that. You know, I'm not jerking on his mouth. I just hold my hand steady right now. He's doing the jerking. He's used to being able to jerk through somebody's hands. There. That's what I'm looking for. Now he's set up. I got two options. I can go either way. I can try to work on his front end a little bit so he follows his shoulder, or I can work his hip. Right now I'm going to go ahead and use my right spur and roll it a little bit. Right there, gave him a little tap, say, hey, listen to it. All right. See, everything. This is where, like I said, this is going to be my pet peeve day. It's all stemming from that damn martingale. A lot of it. There, right. Now, if he does it that nice next time, we're going to walk out. Now I'm going to let him have his head and let him walk out. Because that time I got some softness to it. There was no resistance. I'm looking for any kind of resistance. I don't want any kind of resistance. Especially a horse that's already been taught to be bracey. If I give him an inch, he's going to take it. Right there was not bad, but still try to root on me. Roll my spur. His balance ain't quite as good as going to the right. Yeah, right. Now while he's walking, I'll go back and work on his vertical a little bit. Now right there what I did, that's why I like my cutting horse spurs. I took my spur and went underneath his belly and I literally pulled my legs up a little bit to lift up that back. Because if I lift up that back, he lifts up that back, the head's going to go down. Now right now I'm going to hold it for a little bit and then we'll let go. He's in the right position. Right there I did it again. So I'm using a combination of my hands and my legs. Now he's going to be pretty easy at the end of the day. So right now I got him in frame. Ask for a stop. I want him to back up. Right now I don't care how fast. There. Like right there. This horse don't know how, and he's built to utilize himself, but nobody's ever taught him to utilize himself. He's hollowing his back out. He's working all on his front end, not on his hiney. And as soon as he gives me a little bit of back without him, them feet coming locked, without that nose coming up in there, then I'll back off of him. Right there he gave me his, see I'm either getting one or the other, I'm not getting both. Because he doesn't know how to use himself. Because nobody ever taught him, they forced him into it. And you can say I'm forcing him to do what he's doing right now. Well, I'm just letting him know the right position is nose down. My hands, he's taking, like, there we go, right there. But right there I got a couple steps, so then, you know, I don't care that first few times. There. Now you see the difference me holding my ground and wait till he did it right, just a couple of strides. Now he's getting the idea. And most horses, unless they're really so ingrained, like black paint, bald face paint we got here, you know, it does happen pretty quick. If you make them be responsible for their own actions. If you get that poor horsey attitude, I want to take a shortcut, you're going to either get dumped or something's going to happen. down, I'm going to ride forward and walk him off. That's what I'm looking for. I want him to keep that head position when I walk him out. Like I said, this is where we're going to start developing the stop too. I'm not going to start doing it at a trot yet. So we'll sit down, ride backwards. Now if he does try to go forward, I'm going to grab a little bit more in his mouth because I'm not going to let him go forward. He's only got one way he can go, and that's back. Now pull to the side a little bit, so keep him from there. Now we're going to get his head back down, and we're going to ride forward again. I'm going to hold my hand steady. Right there is a good spot. I'm going to sit down on my butt, push forward, he backs up. Let him settle, and we'll ride forward again. Is it still at a good spot? And we're going to ride forward again. Need to let him settle a little bit next time. So I'm going to put my feet, push on the back of my cantle. If I can stop him with his head down, he's already set up for a back, and that's why I want to take him in the back while his feet moving. Because to me, a back up to us, in our minds, it's a, there we go. In our minds, it's a backward motion. You know, horses think forward. To them, they're still going in forward motion. A lot better. He's going to be all right. Here's a horse that, thank God, the person knew me, because he would have probably got shaken around, and everybody was trying to do this coochie coo stuff with him, and he would have just got worse. I'm sorry, it would have. Or try to take the shortcuts like they did do. But the owners listened to somebody else's advice with the martingale, and as you see, it didn't fix anything. Matter of fact, it probably made things worse. So, as I always say, be true to the horse, they'll be true to you. First and foremost, people, be true to yourself. That's the main person we got to keep happy. And to my kids, and no matter what, a special person out there, watch take care. He's a nice horse.